जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is today is Sunday, 29th of March. It's Chaitra Masa or Vishnu Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Dwadasi Tithi. So today, break the fast for Ekadasi fasting between 9:09 and 10:58. So, and
Yeah,
also
that
today,
was. I just want to ask one small question on that. So today is a clock change, so it still is like we don't have to break 10 o'clock. It's still 9 o'clock, isn't it?
yes, it's still
Okay.
9:09 and 10:58. The times are adjusted based on the British summer time.
Okay. So they already okay because I thought just in case.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So the time is 9:09 and 10:58 according to British summer time after the change of the times. Okay, that is one event. Another event there is a Damanakaropana Dwadasi. So this is a festival in the Jagannath Puri. It is observed. So this festival is celebrated on the 13th and 14th days of the bright fortnight of Chaitra, April or Chaitra Masa. Deities of Lord Rama, that is Lord Balarama and Lord Jagannath Krishna are taken in procession to the Jagannatha Ballava Mat. There are the deities get their Dayana leaves from the garden of the Mat, from the garden at the Mat. On the 14th day, the leaves are offered to the Lord Jagannath and Lady Subhadra and Lord Balabhadra. Damanaka is a particular type of flowering tree, and in a modern warrior, it is called Damana. It is one of the two favorite flowers of Lord Jagannath, the other being Champaka. So one is Damana and Champaka. Two flowers are favorite to Jagannath. So it is said that Lord Jagannath comes to the Jagannath Vallabha garden in Puri to steal these flowers. Aropana means to plant. So on this Dwadasi, there is a ritual planting of the Damana trees. Okay, that is Damanakaropana Dwadasi. That is also there. Small festival, but in the Puri, it is a very beautiful festival. Okay, that's all from the events perspective. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Okay, so just again before we start Srimad Bhagavatam, again as today is Dwadasi, before you break the fast, if you are doing any of charity, it is a reminder. Okay, so in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni is speaking to Vidura about Brahma's creation and how when he has created, he has also created the Vacham from his body, who is the daughter of Lord Brahma. And even though she was not inclined for the desires or sexual desire, but Brahma, he desired in such a way. Maitreya Muni has mentioned to Vidura that he has heard from the authorities, but he did not go in detail. वाचं दुहितरं तन्वीं स्वयं भूर् अर्हति हरति मनः अकामं चकमेक्षतः सकामैति नः श्रुतम्. So likewise, Maitreya Muni mentioned to Vidura. So on that context, even the same statement, it is spoken by the Lord Kapila Deva as well. So there he mentions That is Prajapatihi swam duhitaram drishtva tadrupadarshitaha rohit bhutamso anvadhavat ruksharupi haritrapaha. So Brahma taking the form of a deer and then went behind his daughter. So without any shame, he went behind his daughter. So there he has took the form of a deer. So he was bewildered by the beauty of his daughter, and in such a way, he went behind. So that Kapil Bhagwan mentions straight away to Devhuti Mata. Here, Maitreya Muni mentions that he has heard from the authority. The same statement, the Kapil Bhagwan, whatever Lord says to Devhuti Mata, later on Maitreya Muni is going to bring those conversations and then says to Vidra in more detail in the later chapters. So when the Brahma was like that, later on, his children Marichi and Pulaha, Pulasya, Bhrugu, and those children, the Kratu, the Vasista. So those 10 children, they wanted to say something to their father because it is adharma. So by looking that they do not want their father to go downwards. So they started speaking. Likewise, Maitreya Muni saying to Vidura, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 12 and verse number 29. तम अधर्मे कृतमतिं विलोक्य पितरं सुताः मरीचिमुख्या मुनयो विभ्रम विश्रम्भात् प्रत्यबोधयन् तम अधर्मे कृतमतिं tam adharme, tam unto him, unto Lord Brahma, adharma krutamatim, and in the matter of immorality. Actually, adharme is the immorality, matter of immorality. I think spelling should be immorality. And krutamatim, the mind being so given, uh, Kurtamatim. So Brahma was inclined to do such kind of activity, bewildering by the beauty of his daughter, that is Vachim Imadhitaram. When he is inclined, Tam Adharme Kurtamatim, Vilokya Pitaram Sutaha, Vilokya Pitaram Sutaha. And Vilokya is seeing thus Pitaram unto the father, Sutaha, the sons. Who are the sons? Marichi Mukhya Munayo. Marichi Mukhya Munayo. Marichi Mukhya is headed by Marichi. And then those are the 10 children. Marichi, Bhrugu, Vasista, Pulaha, Pulastya, Kratu, and Narada Muni, Daksha Prajapati, and then there is Dharma, and there is also Adharma as well. Adharma also was begotten. Atri Maharshi. So these are all 10, around 12, and also Kardama Prajapati. So there are many of those children. So headed by Marichi, what they are saying, Vishram Bhat, those sages, Vishram Bhat, with due respect, Pratyabhodayan, submitted as follows. When they're saying here, the humble mode of the children, how they are addressing the father, it is what it is mentioned here in this shloka. So one has to approach a spiritual master or a father with so much of respect. So here in the shloka it is mentioned the respect towards the father when father is doing which appears to be that not appropriate for the children, but children are addressing the father with so much respect. Vishrambat, that is the most highlighting word in this shloka. So tamadharme krutamatim vilokya pitaram sutaha marichi mukya munayo vishrambhat pratyabhodayan. So translation. Thus, finding their father so deluded in an act of immorality, the sages headed by Marichi, all sons of Brahma, spoke as follows with great respect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request any volunteer devotees to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. May I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Sure. Make us. The sages like Marichi were not in the wrong in submitting their protests against the acts of their great father. They knew very well that even though their father committed a mistake, there must have been some great purpose behind the so. Otherwise, such a great personality could not have committed such a mistake. It might be that Brahma wanted to warn his subordinates about human volatile frailties in their dealing with women. This is always very dangerous for persons who are on the path of self-realization. Therefore, great personalities like Brahma, even when in the wrong, should not be neglected. Nor could the great sages headed by Marichi show any disrespect because of his extraordinary behavior. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, the sage Prabhupada is explaining, the sages like Marichi were not in the wrong in submitting in their protests against the acts of their great father. Acts of their great father. They knew very well that even though their father committed a mistake, there must have been some great purpose behind the show. Because whenever the devotees are our spiritual masters are doing something behind that, there may, because they do not have any other intentions except serving the Lord. Except serving the Lord. So when something comes, then Lord would manifest some different pastimes behind. And Brahma, he was mentioning, na bharati mingam mrushopalakshate navai kvachinme manaso mrushagatihi. Name hishikani patincha asatpate yedme hruda outkantadrato harihi. O Narada, I will never ever fall down because my words na bharati mingam mrushopalakshate. My words will never ever go false. And my mind is always inclined towards only the Lord. Because I always keep the Lord in my heart. In such a way, Brahma says. And if something is not appropriate to the children, there might be great cause. So that's why they wanted to know, and also they wanted to say, first thing is address what is the situation. It is not that one must be keep quiet, even though sometimes a spiritual master is doing and some speaker is saying something which may not be right. Audience may find it, but sometimes if they say that, they may think that it is not right, but they do not want to offend, something like that. But they can put that same statement with a great respect, like the Vishrambhat, Vishrambhat Pratyabhodayan. So that needs to be addressed because the context they do not know, but it is not like a correcting way, but we need to tell, okay, Prabhuji, so what is this one? So you have mentioned this one. Can you please explain what is the context? In such a way we can ask. We do not have to mention or correcting something like that or finding faults like that. It is not a offense, just to understand, knowing the context. Here, the children of Brahma, Maricha and all, they are submitting their protests against the acts of their great father. So they knew very well that even though their father committed a mistake, there must have been some great purpose behind the show. It is Prabhupada is mentioning behind the show. It is not actually Brahma's tendency, because he is the topmost living entity in this universe. Otherwise, such a great personality could not have committed such a mistake. Okay, so this is again very important. So the father, he is there to look after everything, family, wife, and children, and everything else. And sometimes he is doing everything right, but at one moment he is doing something. That means uh, there is some particular reason. So, otherwise, without such a great personality, could not have committed such a mistake. So, it might be that Brahma wanted to warn his subordinates about human frailties in their dealings with women. In their dealings with women. So, this is always very dangerous for persons who are on the path of self-realization. Who are on the path of self-realization. So that's why all of the sages of all Brahma's children, they have all gone through different kinds of severe austerities and penances. Severe austerities and penances, just to control, not attracted. Even Kardama Prajapati, he has meditated on the Supreme Lord for 10,000 years just to get a wife. Just to get a wife, good wife. Samanaselam gruhamedadenum. Tada, he also mentions, my dear Lord, in this material world, many people they will come to you just with to fulfill so many of their desires. Rashisha Kaman is a pile of desires, mountain of desires. So the Kadama Prajapati in his prayers, he submits his request. And also, I also came to you with the same reason to fulfill my desire. I wanted to enter into the Grihasthashrama on the instruction of my father Brahma. तथा तथा सचाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेदधेनुम् उपेवान्मूलम् अशेषमूलं दुराशयः दुगाङ्घ्रिपद्मम्. So there he mentions, my dear Lord, everyone approaches to fulfill it. I also came here, but my desire is like a durasha. It is, I am too much excessive of desire. But actually, he has gone to 10,000 years of meditation for purification before he entered into the Gurhastha Ashrama. And also, he wanted the Lord to decide whom he needs to marry. And he submits that one as a Durasha. Even that is the need. So that is the position of a devotee. So here, before when someone is come in contact with the woman, one must be very cautious. So that is, Prabhupada is mentioning here. It might be Brahma wanted to warn the subordinates about human frailties in their dealings with women. That is always very dangerous for persons who are on the path of self-realization. The human life is meant only for self-realization. But somewhere or other, due to the forgetfulness, everyone are bewildered or diverted by the modern education and so many of desires influence of the Maya. So that they will be engaged in the material karmic activities and work very hard, unnecessarily thinking to accumulate the money and so many things. That does not increase the happiness. It will, it comforts may be increased, but that does not give the ultimate happiness. So therefore, the great personalities like Brahma, even when in the wrong, should not be neglected, nor could the sages headed by Marichi show any disrespect because of his extraordinary behavior. So this is whenever great personalities like Brahma, even when in the wrong, should not be neglected, nor could the sages. So here two statements. So when something is happening to the spiritual master or something, one has to alert them. One has to alert them. If the sannyasi is there, our spiritual master as a sannyasi, and disciples, there are so many disciples. If sannyasi is trying to make mistakes, disciples must be alerting him that, oh my dear spiritual master. So we are meant for only self-realization. We are in the Guru Parampara, bona fide. It is, and there are so many other disciples are depending on ourselves. We are the link to the bona fide spiritual section. We should not break so that, so for example, if Krishna is on the top and there are so many chains or there are links, one is holding another feet, another feet, another feet. It is chain of humans just from top to bottom. People are there. If one person in the middle, if he leaves the feet of previous acharya, then everyone fall down on the ground. Everyone fall down on the ground. So that link must be very strong. So there, if there is any chance, we must alert the spiritual master as well. So this is here, even in the wrong, one should not be neglected. So here children are addressing the father, alerting the father. So that is very, very important. Nor could the great sages headed by Marichi show any disrespect. So here they are not doing any disrespect. They are alerting the father. This is Vishrambhat because of his extraordinary behavior. So here, one of the statements that Kapil Bhagavan describes, in this material world, people, they're always, one should not go in association with any person who has got, who is like a woman mongler, something like that Prabhupada mentions, woman hunter. So Kapil Bhagavan mentions the same statement, Teshu ashanteshu bhodeshu kanditatmasu asadushu sangam na kuryat Sangam na kuryat socheshu yoshit krida mrugeshu cha. Yoshit krida mrugeshu cha. So if a person, if he is a toy in the hand of a woman, and such kind of person is there in our friend circles, one should disconnect that kind of person from the friendship. That is, Sangam na kuryat. One should not associate with such person. Sangam na kuryat socheshu yoshit krida mrugeshu cha. So here they are called, if we are associating with such kind of person, they are called the fools. Modeshu, teshu ashanteshu modeshu, kanditatmasu asadushu. So kanditatmashu. So who is like a not inclining towards the self-realization. And he mentions that attachment to the woman, it is very, very powerful, that there is no other relationship, nothing would affect as strong as this association with women. So Kapil Bhagavan says again, Natatasya bhavain moho bandasha anya prasangataha yoshit sangat yata pumso yata tatsangi sangataha yoshit sangat yata pumso yata tatsangi sangataha. There is no other association is so bewildering when you are associating with a woman. That is Kapil Bhagavan mentioning, alerting everyone's Natatasya bhaven moho bhandasha anya prasangataha yoshit sangat yata pumso yata tat sangi sangataha. It must be very, very important, alerting. One should not be associating with any woman at all. Otherwise, it will, if they're inclined towards any woman, then it will entangle him a lot. So again, at that point of time, he mentions about Brahma as well. So Prajapatim Swam Duhitaram Društva Tadrupa Darshitaha. Mayre Devahutima. So Kapil Bhagavan says, even once Brahma was, he was very bewildered by looking at the beauty of his daughter. Prajapati Swam Duhitaram. Prajapati is Brahma. Swam Duhitaram, his own daughter. Društva, by looking, Tadrupa darshitaha. So bewildering by her beauty, Tadrupa. And Rohit Bhotam is in the form of a deer. Rohit Bhotam. So Anvadhavat Ruksharupi Hadatrapaha. He went towards his daughter in the form of a deer. Ruksharupi Hadatrapaha in the form of a deer. Rohit Bhotam or Ruksharupi. Both are it is called a deer. So Brahma did not go in his original body. He went in the form of a deer. And then after mentioning that, Kapil Bhagwan further says, Tatsprushta Srushta Srushte, Tatsprushta Srushta Srušteshu, Ko Anva Kandati, Ko Anva Kandati Dihi Puman, Rushim Narayanam Rute, Yoshin Mayi Himaya. So here, Tatsrushta Srushta Srušteshu, the many living beings are being created. So Brahma is creating living entity, and those are begetting their children and their children and their children. So many people. Tatsrushta Srushta Srušteshu, Ko Anva Kandita Dihi Puman. And here he mentions no one is exception. When Brahma he himself is bewildered, then nothing to speak of anyone of all his descendants. Ko Anva Kandata Dihi Puman and Rishim Narayana Mrute, except the Narayana Rishi. Except Narayana Rishi. Yoshin Mayi Hamaya, everyone are bewildered except Narayana Rishi. Kapil Bhagwan he mentions. And he mentions Bhalam me Pasimaya Stri Maya Jaino Disham Ya Karoti Padakrantan Bhruvijrumbena Kevalam. So, my dear mother, look at my bewildering energy, my external energy. Balam me pasya mayaya. Stri maya jaino disham. My bewildering energy in the form of a woman. Stri maya jaino disham. Who is going to conquer in all directions. Ya karoti padakrantan. Ya karoti padakrantan. She will conquer everyone. Ya karoti padakrantan. Bhruvijrumbena kevalam. Just by the movements of her eyebrows. Bhruvijrumbena kevalam. It is not only women should be very beautiful. Even the ugly woman also can do bewilder anyone. The just only the form of the woman is sufficient. Just only form of the woman is sufficient. She will make every opposite person into ya karoti padakrantan to bring opposite person to her feet. Padakrantan. So after saying that, Kapil Bhagwan says that the association of a woman, it will lead to the hellish life. So sangam na kuryat pramadas jatu yogasya param paramarurukshuhu, who is endeavoring to go back to the Godhead. Paramarurukshuhu, who wanted to elevate themselves onto the transcendental platform. Yogasya param paramarurukshuhu, everyone desires to go upwards. Such kind of people, sangam na kuryat pramadasu jatu, they should not associate with women who wanted to go become the devotee of Krishna. Who wanted to become a devotee of Krishna, they should not associate with women. Pramadasu jatu, na sangam na kuryat pramadasu jatu, matsevaya pratilabdhatma, and whoever is desiring my devotional service, Krishna's, the Lord Kapil Bhagwan says, of course, Lord Krishna says as well, Matsevaya Pratilabdhatma, and whoever is desiring my service, Pratilabdha Atmalabho, and who wanted to benefit my devotional service. So they should not associate with women. But if such kind of association is mentioned, Vadantiya Niryadvaramasya, the association with women is mentioned as Niryadvaram, that is the hell, path to the hell. Niryadvaramasya, Vadantiya Niryadvaramasya. Kapil Bhagwan is alerting everyone here. Sangham na kuryat pramadasu jhatu yogasya param paramarurukshuhu matsevya priti labdhatma labho vadintya niryadvaramasya Yopayati tenirmaya yoshidhyeva vinirmita tamikshita atmano mrutyum trunaihi kupam ivavrutam Yopayati senirmaya. Again, he mentions the form of woman, it is representative of um, external energy of the Lord. And it is the illusory energy. The form of woman is illusory energy. Yopayati senirmaya. Yoshid deva vinirmita. Yoshid deva vinirmita. The Lord has constructed the body of a woman which will bewilder everyone. Yoshid deva vinirmita. Vinirmita is construction of that form of a woman. Yoshid deva vinirmita. Yopayati senirmaya. Yoshid deva vinirmita. Tam iksheta atmano mrutyum. Tam iksheta atmano mrutyum. Trunaihi kopam ivavrutam. And if anyone is associating with women again, he needs to understand he is dealing with a fire which is covered by some grass, outside grass. Outside is the grass, but inside is a fire. And also it is a Trunehi Kopam Ivavrutam, and also Kopam is a very deep pit which is covered on top of. In order to catch the elephants in the forest, they will dig big deep pit. On top of that, they will put some kind of a very thin layer of leaves, something like that. They arrange it, and they will use the she elephant to attract the male elephant, and then whenever this male elephant is coming in, that she elephant knows that path where it should not go, and it will slowly it will go crossing that one without going on the pit. But whereas the male elephant, it straight away go whenever it is going towards the she elephant, it will go on the pit which is covered by the leaves, and then it will fall into that deep pit. Even though elephant is so strong, it is captured by the hunters. Tamikshita atmano mrityum trunaihi kopam ivavrutam. So this form of a woman, body of a woman, it is like that. If one is attracting, he is now put up into the deep pit, captured by Maya. But why the living entity gets the woman body? Like when he says that Kapil Bhagavan, he mentions Yam manyate patim mohan man mayam rushabhayatim stritvam sri sangataha prapto vittapatya gruhapradam. Stritvam sri sangataha, the living entity in the previous life, he was a man actually. A living entity was having, he was a Purusha. But because he was attracted with the uh, woman body or association with the woman. So that's because of that association with woman, attracted to woman body, he took body of a woman in the next life. That's why when we say woman population is more, possibly we could be saying, understand this could be the reason. Even though male and Satarupa and Swayambhuman were there, one man and one woman, later on, if the living entities are attracted to the womanly body, then those men also become as a woman in the next life. Then women population will increase more and more. In the Golok or in the there is the Gopa boys and the gopis. So there are, it mentions from Radha Rani, she creates 1 lakh crores of gopi girls. So 1 lakh crores, that is 1 trillion number, 1 trillion of the gopis. And boys proportionate is 30 crores. Boys proportionate is only 30 crores. We can see the dominance of in the Golok Vrindavan, that is the dominance, the population dominance. So here in this material world, Sri Sangataha Prapto Vittapatya Gruhapradam. And because he is attracted to the woman, and then he get to the woman body in the next life. And woman body, because she in the woman she expects from the husband the money and the house and the facilities and the children, because everything will come on. Husband is going to work very hard, and he will provide all these things to women. She will enjoy the comforts. So in such a way, when he thinks that woman is taking all kinds of facilities and woman is so fortunate, uh, in such a he is attracted to woman's body. So in the next life, he will get the woman body. This is Kapil Bhagavan is mentioning here. Yam manyate pati mohan man mayam rushabhayatim stritum sri sangataha prapto vittapatya gruhapradam. So that is about the man, a living entity, how he takes the form of a woman. Again, he mentions in the opposite way as well. So for a woman, if husband is also like that. Tam atmanu vidhaniyat patya patya gruhatmakam daivopasaditam mrityu mrugaya gayanam yatha. Mrugyor gayanam yatha. And for a woman, it is also understood that the house, the husband, and the children, it is like a setup of the environment for her, so that how she would leave her home, uh, she would leave her body during her death. It is like uh, a deer is attracted by a very sweet flute song of a hunter. So hunter will before he capture the deer, he will do very sweet or nice flute playing. Then the deers will be very interestingly attractively hearing that flute music. Then hunter he has captured the mood of deer. Now it is easy for him to somewhere other to use arrows to kill it. Otherwise, deer will keep on moving, it will run very fast. So he uses this flute music. So likewise, a woman is surrounded by the husband, children, the house, the premises in and around, and family and friends and everything is a setup of the environment, how she is going to leave her body at the end of her life. That is also a Maya. Okay, so this is a very beautiful thing so that we can just go and reflect in the Srimad Bhagavatam here. I think it is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, I think third canto. 31 chapter. Yes, can I request any devotees to read this just translations from 31 to 31 to 30. 32. Yes. Yeah, from 30 to just that translations, 30 to 36, one devotee, and 37 to 42, one devotee, please.
Right?
Yes, Mata.
Which is yes. If therefore the living entity again associates with the path of unreligiousness, influenced by sensually minded people engaged in the pursuit of sexual enjoyment and the gratification of the palate, he again goes to hell as before. He becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, gravity, spiritual intelligence, shyness, austerity, fame, forgiveness, control of the mind, control of the sense, fortune, and all such opportunities. One should not associate with a course who is bereft of the knowledge of self-realization and who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of a woman. Is it? One more? One
Yes,
more,
ma'am.
please.
Yes, Mataji.
The
Hare
infatuation,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
the unfortunations and bondage which occur to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women.
Mm.
At the sight of his own daughter, Brahma was believed by her charms and shamelessly ran up to her in the form of a stage when she took the form of a hind.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a stag and a hind. This is Ruksharupi in the form of a stag, and again Rohit. This is Rohit Bhutam is a deer. Stag is also kind of a deer family. Thank you so much, Mataji. Can I request from 37 to 42 and the devotee, please?
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
Shall I?
Mataji, please.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Amongst all kind of living entities begotten by Brahma, namely men, demigods, and animals, none but the sage Narayana is immune to the attraction of Maya in the form of woman. Just try to understand the mighty strength of Maya in the shape of woman, who by the mere movement of her eyebrows can keep even the greatest conquerors of the world under her grip.
And here Prabhupada gives one of the example is a Cleopatra, something like that.
Mhm.
Um,
One who aspires to reach the culmination of yoga and has realized his self by rendering service unto me should never associate with an attractive woman, for such a woman is declared in the scripture to be the gateway of hell for the advancing devotee. The woman created by the Lord is the representation of Maya, and one who associates with such Maya by accepting service must certainly know that this is the way of death, just like a blind well covered with grass. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. A woman therefore should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of the hunter is death for the deer.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so this is a few statements by Kapila Bhagavan mentions one who is inclined towards the transcendental position, looking towards the Parama Rukshiku, who decide to go back to Golok Vrindavan. So it is a kind of alerts here. So what needs to be done, what should not, what shouldn't be done. So here Kapil Bhagavan says, and here coming back to this current shloka here. So Prabhupada is mentioning this one. So it might be that Brahma wanted to warn his subordinates about human frailties in their dealings with women. This is always very dangerous for persons who are on the path of self-realization. But however, when someone is falling like that, so one should not be neglected. He needs to be given importance to highlight what he should be, remind his position all the time. Okay, this is Vishrambhat Pratyabhodayan Pratyabhodayan. Marichi Mukya Munayo Vishrambhat Pratyabhodayan. Okay, that is from this shloka. So we shall all go on the recite this shloka. तत्तम् अधर्मे कृतमतिं विलोक्य पितरं सुताः मरीचिमुख्या मुनयो विश्रम्भात् आत् प्रत्यबोधयन्. Can I request all devotees to follow line by line? तम् अधर्मे कृतमतिं
Tam Dharme
Tam
Kritamati
adharmi krutamati
विलोक्य पितरं सुताः
vilokya
Vilokya
pitaram
Pitaram
sutaha
Sutaha
मरीचिमुख्या मुनयो
marichi
Marichi
mukhya
Mukhya
munayo
विश्रम्भात् प्रत्यबोधयन्.
Visrambha
visrambhadya bodhayam
Bodayan
Okay, again. तम् अधर्मे कृतमतिं
Tam Dharme
krutamati
Kritamati
विलोक्य पितरं सुताः
Vilokya
vilokya
Pitaram
pitaram sutaha
Sutaha
मरीचिमुख्या मुनयो
Marichi
marichi
Mukhya
mukhya munayo
विश्रम्भात् प्रत्यबोधयन्.
visrambhat
Visrambha Pratyabodhayan
pratyabodhayam
Once more. तम् अधर्मे कृतमतिं
tam
Tam
adharmi
Dharme
krutamati
Kritamati
विलोक्य पितरं सुताः
Vilokya Pitaram Sutaha
मरीचिमुख्या मुनयो
Marichi Mukhya Munayo
विश्रम्भात् प्रत्यबोधयन्.
Visrambha Pratyabodhayan.
Very nice. Can we go do this? Take it and to recite. Usha Mataji, would you like to go, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhupada Krishna. Thank you. Tamadharme Krutamatim Vilokya Pitaram Sutaha Marichi Mukhya Munayo Visrambhat Pratyabodhayan.
Very nice. Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Prabhu.
Meena Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Tam adharma krutam matim vilokyam pitaram sutaha marichi mukhya munayo visrambha pratyabodhayan.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Tam dharme kritamatiam trilokya pitaram sutaha marichi mukhya munayo visrambhat pratyabodhayan. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Would you like to read the translation as well, Mataji, please?
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Those finding their father so deluded in an act of immorality, the sects headed by Mercy, all sons of Brahma, spoke as follows with great respect. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. It seems it is related to bank. We shall skip this one. Next is related to Tamala Krishna, April 7th, 1971, Nasik. Okay, again, can I request Garinga Mataji to read this letter, Mataji, please?
Okay, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. My dear Tamala Krishna, please accept my blessing. I hope by this time you have safely reached Kolkata and are doing the needful. In Nasik, Krishna has given us a nice offer, namely the host there, Srimad Mahanata, Mahanata Dinabandhu Das is offering his house and place in Vrindavana for our use. He is prepared to give both these things to us as a charitable gift. The problem is who will take charge of the house and praise. But I think if Pradeep and Rahul go there, thing can be done if not perfectly still to our purpose. So please consult with them. Of course, there will the paid compositors in the press, but it requires good management. We are returning to Bombay in Saturday by 12 noon. I shall be glad to hear from you on this point as soon as possible. I am also writing in this connection to Ramananda and uh, Durdaivan's son, Prabhu in Gorakhpur and um, Ki- Kisroda Kesari Kesai. Prabhuji, how can you
Kshirodar Sai.
Chirokodai Sai in Delhi? Hope this will meet you the good health. Your ever will wisher A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. P.S. Please inform me about Kolkata and Mayapur. Uh, ACBS Das, Prabhuji?
And yes, thank you,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes.
Very beautiful. Any takeaway points, Mataji, you wanted to highlight?
This letter wrote by Tamil Krishna. So Prabhuji, Prabhupada gave to him blessing his letter from this. Then he is Tamil Krishna is Maharaj is going to Kolkata and he doing there is some I don't know, Prabhuji. Prabhupada mentioned about the Krishna offering something, other devotee offering his house program. Then Vrindavan or Prabhuji, I cannot uh, um, describe Prabhuji. Sorry about that. He, yeah. House program and he is doing their also charitable gift, Prabhuji.
He wanted to give his house and his press both to Hare Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Prabhuji. Then also he talk about praise, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Then also praise and other two devotee Pradeep and Rahul, they're going to there. They also doing their uh, some Prabhuji, you can explain, Prabhuji. Sorry about this. I cannot.
Thank you, Mataji. You did very beautifully summarized, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Any other devotees? Any comments? Meena Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so it's just, I think Prabhupada has mentioned that Mahanta Dinabandhu has offered his house and press, like, as giving them as a gift, as charitable gift. So, but he was asking that who will in charge, who will take this, to in charge to take this offer. And so I think he just given suggestion Pradeep and Rahul. I think, and ask them to talk with them. And yeah, I think.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. So here, the many devotees will come and offer so many charitable gifts to our society. Different kinds of gifts. One person may give his house, one person may give his press. Those are their assets. But in our Krishna conscious society, because we need to maintain them very nicely. It is for our purpose. Prabhupada means still to our purpose. Though it is not perfect, we do not know exactly like professionals. But however, whatever we are doing, it is for our purpose. So we can best utilize. But in due course of time, if we are keep using it, we will also become perfect in due course of time. So things can be done, but if not perfectly, still to our purpose. But it is best utilize everything in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that is Prabhupada is mentioning. But in case in while it is press is being maintained, when there are no compositors, then we may require to recruit paid compositors in the press. But it requires a good management. Okay, so that is from the Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view. Okay, so today is Sunday. We don't have evening programs apart from the Japa session is at 6:30 p.m. And again, just a reminder, again, Jagannath Radhayatras, those fundraise is now on for Jagannath in the West Bengal for upcoming Jagannath Radhayatra. So that may happen during, so we have got a time, the dates as well. So approximate dates where we have to conclude that are also mentioned. Okay, but no need to stretch everything at once, but gradually we have got 3-4 Ekadasis, maybe small bits will go in there. Then we will reach the desired Lakshmi, at least to offer, so that Vrindavan Das Prabhuji will be able to happily conduct that ceremony. Okay, that is only a little bit of service from our Sangha. That's all the updates from me and the devotees. If you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly update and kindly share. And today is very summer, many devotees might be, and also festivals in the temple. Some devotees popped into the temple, some devotees' bodies are not yet aligned to those timings. So, yeah, it's a few reflections. Okay, if you have got any updates or anything to share, kindly share. Hare Krishna. So if there are no updates, then we shall move to the next part. It is the Ramayana. So in the Ramayana, we have seen in the second part of Ramayana, where Rama meets the monkeys. That chapter it is concluded in the last Sunday. So where Sugriva became the king of Kishkinda, and he is established, and Angada is established as the prince regent. And but Rama, even though for that ceremonies, because it is a Kishkinda kingdom, the Vanaras kingdom, but Rama and Lakshmana, they did not go there. And Rama has mentioned, I'm not allowed to enter into the kingdoms. So I would stay in the forest cave. Okay, so likewise, Rama says to Sugriva and all these Vanaras, they have went to the um, Kishkinda. All Vanaras went to Kishkinda. So here, Sugriva was reunited with his wife Ruma, and he entered Vali's magnificent palace, awaiting the end of the rainy season. He lived happily, surrounded by his wives and ministers. And this is the end of the rainy season. It is generally Chaturmasi period, the 4 months. Okay, so that is where now those 4 months period, uh, Sugriva is enjoying all his. He has been bereft of his kingdom for so long. Now he has got back them, and Ram allowed him to enjoy. Okay, so with that one, in the this chapter 11 was completed last Sunday. So it's in chapter 12, the search begins. Okay, we shall go and read every devotee one page. So can I request Usha Mataji to read the first page, please?
Yes, sir. Please. Rama and Lakshmana moved to the nearby Mount uh, Prasravana, and sought out a large cave close to its summit. They settled in, spending their times talking together and performing sacrifice. But Rama's mind nearly left Sita. His only consolation was to describe her qualities to Lakshman. He longed for the rainy season to end so that he could search for his beloved wife. Gradually the rains subsided, the sky cleared, and the resonant cries of cranes filled the air. Although the monsoons were over, however, Sugriva still did not prepare his army to search for Sita. Realizing this, Rama discussed the situation with Lakshman. It seems the Vanara king has forgotten his debt to us, noble brother. Why have his messengers not arrived here with news of their search? O Lakshman, I fear that the gentle Sita is lost forever. What is she doing now? Surely her mind dwells on me, even as mine never leaves her. Surely she weeps in agony, even as I weep here. Rama's grief was as strong as had been when Sita was abducted 4 months ago. Rama felt powerless. He was still no closer to finding Sita than the day she was kidnapped. And now Sugriva, upon whom his hope was resting, was letting him down. Rama sat distracted by sorrow. Lakshman reassured him, this is not the time to grieve, dear brother. We must strenuously exert ourselves to find Sita. With you as her protector, no one can hold the princess for long. Compose yourself, Rama. Let us do what must be done.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mataji. So here in this page, So Rama and Lakshmana, they are in the near to the Kishkinda itself, but the mount is mentioned as a Prashravana, and sought out a large cave close to its summit on top of the mountain. So they are living in that cave all this period. Okay, so now Rama is always thinking of Krishna. Sorry, Rama is always thinking of Sita Devi. So this is the mood of the Lord, and Sita Devi in way his wife, and also Sita Devi is so inclined to Ramachandra. And she's also thinking not only as a husband and wife, but Sita is devoted to Ramachandra. Again, living entities and the Supreme Lord. They're all the devotees of the Lord. They're also thinking of the Lord, how to serve them, serve to Krishna, and Krishna is also thinking of the devotee. Sadho hridayam mahim sadhu nam hridayam tvaham madanyante na jhananti naham tebhyo managapi. I do not know anyone except my devotees. My devotees do not know except myself. That is the relationship. Plus, here Sita and Rama, Sita and Rama, their husband and Rama and Sita, their husband and wife. So they're always thinking of themselves. Rama is thinking about Sita, Sita Mata is thinking of only Ramachandra. So here, his only consolation was to describe her qualities to Lakshman. This is very essential part, discussing the qualities. When I remember my wife, then I will only highlight good qualities, only good qualities. The again describing, sometimes we may be finding out there are so many things going on in the world. We need people to find good qualities, only good qualities. Otherwise, everyone has all the living entities, they have got somewhere other bad intensities. That is natural. But whoever is identifying the good qualities, the words they try to search for, there's like a honeybees. Find only good things in everywhere. They will extract only honey. Whereas there are other kinds of the flies, they will go on the dirty places. They will only pick the dirty words and dirty things. Even the good things, they will use all that kind of stuff. So here, Ramchandra, so there, Kapil Bhagavan mentions, Madharmo gunairetaihi parsham shuddhasayah purushasya anjasabhyeti purushasya anjasabhyeti shrutamatra gunam himam. Shrutamatra gunam himam. Just by hearing my good qualities, devotees are attracted. Madharmo gunairetehi parisham shuddhasayah. I also wanted to get those good qualities, and also I wanted to get purified from all contamination. Every living entity wanted that one. They wanted to be pure. They wanted to hear those qualities. So Gunalayam Padmakare Ravalalasaha. He is the Gunalayam. All good qualities. It is there is a very Ahamtva Prithu Maharaj mentions Gunalayam Padmakare Ravalalasaha. And Goddess of Fortune having the lotus flower in her hand and wanted to serve the Lord all the time and wanted to uh, keep the lotus feet of the Lord in her lap and then massage slowly. That is her service. Padma Karera Valalasaha. Okay, so that is it is mentioned that is Gunalayam. Lord is the abode of all qualities. That's why all living entities come. And whenever Lord is appreciating in the devotees, he appreciates only the good qualities as well. He Otherwise, everyone may be having bad qualities. There is no use for it. Lord only looks only good qualities in the living entities. How good this child is. How good this mighty body is. So here, Rama is describing the qualities of Sita Devi to Lakshman. And he longed for the rainy season to end so that he could search for his beloved wife. Okay, and gradually there again this period, rainy season, Chaturmasi period, around 4 months period. During that time, rainy period. Many living entities sprout from the earth. Living entities born out of the soil, or the living entities born from the womb, and the living entities born from the eggs. So there are different kinds, and also living entities comes from the sweat. Four kinds of living entities, and if people who are all performing the austerities and penances, they follow vrata that by themselves they do not want to be reason to kill any living entity. Some people even they close their mouth and nose so that living entities in the air they do not enter into their mouth or through the noses. They do not want to kill anything. But if in the rainy season so many earthworms are coming out, going on the footpaths and all, we might be observing when we are walking. So we do not want to step on top of them unnecessarily. So we are very carefully walking. Likewise, these transcendentalists, they follow the chaturma. They do not want to go out of it unnecessarily, stepping on the living entities. So that is generally one of the reason for it. So here, Ramchandra is waiting that period to cross, and so that they can start the search for his beloved wife Sita. Gradually, the rain subsided, the sky cleared, and the resonant cries of cranes filled the air. The birds are now joyous. We also see in the spring season during the rainy period, the it's so beautiful. The birds are chirping, and here and there, it's so nice, vibrant environment. It is so pleasing. And although the monsoons were over, however, Sugriva still did not prepare his army to search for Sita. Realizing this, Rama discussed the situation with Lakshman. Okay, so that is Sugriva is the friend. So they have both promised in front of the fire, Rama and Sugriva. So Hanuman arranged a fire, this one, the sacrificial fire. And while chanting the mantras, they made friendship that I am always with you in your problems, and you always with me in my problems. Likewise, they share the pains and pleasures equally. That is the friendship. Now, Rama is now afflicted for Sita. So now he is thinking, why Sugriva has not yet prepared. So Rama is discussing the situation with Lakshman and saying that it seems Vanara king has forgotten his debt to us, noble brother. Why have his messengers not arrived here with news of their search? O Lakshman, I fear that the gentle Sita is lost forever. But here, it is not that uh, Sugriva's position as a concern here. Rama is inclined and thinking of only the Sita. Otherwise, it doesn't bother Ramchandra. Whether Sugriva is in opulence or forgotten or not forgotten. But however, because Sita is uh, in his mind and he wanted to search for Sita, that is causing now he is thinking that what is required. So what is she doing now? Surely her mind dwells on me, even as mine never leaves her. Surely she weeps in agony, even as I weep here. So this is Rama's position. And Rama's grief was as strong as it had been when Sita was abducted 4 months ago. Rama felt powerless. He was still no closer to finding Sita than the day she was kidnapped. And now Sugriva, upon whom he hopes were resting, uh, was letting him down. So Rama sat distracted by sorrow. Lakshman reassured him. When one is like hopeless, we need to have people who will give the hope. Here, Lakshman and Ram, they're always There are so many instances now we have seen while we have been reading Ramayana. And Rama has pacified Lakshman in few places and trying to uh, enliven him with the knowledge when Lakshmana was thinking in a different way. And when Rama was in this similar kind of mood, Lakshmana has given good hopes and encouraging Ramchandra to search for Sita. Again, Lakshmana is reassuring him. This is called association, devotees association. So here Lakshmana says, this is not the time to grieve, dear brother. We must strenuously exert ourselves to find Sita. With you as her protector, no one can hold the princess for long. Compose yourself, Rama. Let us do what must be done. So Lakshmana is assuring. So Rama is, he knows that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but here, by their activities, they are teaching us who should be with us and whom we should associate with. Okay, it is very beautiful reflections, but the katha is going on, Ramayana katha. Okay, we shall move to the next page. Can I request Gauri Mataji to read next page, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Rama signed and looked around. On a platinum beneath his cap, a large pond had been formed by the rains. Swans and cranes sported joyfully in the water among uh, clusters of white and red lotuses. Rama could hear the croaks of frogs and the cries of peacocks. In the distance, he heard the trumpeting sound of an elephant in the road. Large um black bees droned around the bright forest flowers, enthusiastic with nectar. The sky was deep blue, and the wind, which had blown fiercely during the monsoons, had become a gentle breeze. The sign and the sound of autumn were visible everywhere. Rama was reflective. Where was Sugriva? Had the forgotten his promise now that his own problem had been solved? How could he so ungrateful? Rama's brow furrowed with anger, and he turned to Lakshman. These past 4 months have seemed like 100 years for me. I have longed for the end of the rains, O Lakshmana, so that we might find Sita as we agreed with Sugriva. Although I have rendered him a great favor. The evil minded Monkey King absolutely uh, holds me in uh, con- con- uh, contempt, seeing me forlorn and deprived of my kingdom, living helplessly like an ecstasy in the forest. The wicked fellow entirely um, disregards me. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry for mistake. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you did very nicely read. So here, Rama is looking in and around the premises. It is the autumn season is arriving here. So looking on a plateau beneath his cave, a large pond had been formed by the rains. Swans and cranes sported joyfully in the water among clusters of white and red lotuses. Okay, so this is how describing the nature here very beautifully, how Rama is watching. And the clusters of white and red lotuses, Rama could hear the croaks of frogs and cries of peacocks. It is so, this is again when when they are chirping and the sound is coming, रक्तकण्टकघानीक स्वरमण्डितषट्पथं कलहंसकुलप्रेष्ठं करदण्डजलाशयम्. They make so much of beautiful noises. So, Swaramandita Shatpadam. That the noise, it is very, very beautiful. Swaramandita Shatpadam. Shatpadam is the what they are called bumblebees or dragonflies. With that jhunkara, it is so mesmerizing that sound. Zzz. When we are going and seeing outside, it is so beautiful. So during the time, uh, the frogs and cries of the peacocks. In the distance, he heard the trumpeting sound of the elephants in rut. Again, these trumpets, uh, they're also called ghinkara. These elephants, their sounds are called ghinkara. So, in the Bhagavatam, it is again mentioned. एयोः तत्स्नानविभ्रष्ट नवकुङ्कुमपिञ्जरं वितृषोऽपि पिबन्त्यम्बः पायन्त गजागजीः and वनकुञ्जरसङ्गृष्ट हरिचन्दनवायुना अधिपुण्यजनस्त्रीणां मुहुर्उन्मदयन्मनः and वनकुञ्जरसङ्गृष्ट हरिचन्दनवायुना. It is also the beautiful environment. It will make the elephants Harichandana Vayuna, the beautiful Harichandana. Harichandana is like a sandalwood. It is the smell coming from those trees. It intoxicating the elephants, and during that time they make lots of noise. And they wanted to have a fun time with their opposite gender elephants, either male elephant or she elephants. Okay, they have good time there, and that environment even it will incline for the Adipunya Janasrina Muhur Unmadayan Manaha. Even the Cupid also would agitate those pious women who are living in the during the Alakapuri, which is in the Himalaya mountains. All these the pious women they are living there. So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the Yaksha women like that. So here the trumpets of the elephants in the rut and the large black bees droned around the bright forest flowers, intoxicated with the nectar. So this is again Mattadvirepakalaya Paritam Vanamalaya Paritam Vanamalaya Paradjahara Valaya Kiritangada Nupuram Mattadvirepakalaya. And the Dhirepa, these dragonflies, they are intoxicated dragonflies and bumblebees. Intoxicated bumblebees, they're always surrounding nearer to the Vanamala that Lord is wearing. Again, so and here that Vanamala, those flowers are having the so sweet honey. So they're these black bees, they're humming like that. intoxicated with the nectar. The large black bees droned around the bright forest flowers, intoxicated with the nectar. The sky was a deep blue, and the wind, which had blown fiercely during the monsoons, had become gentle breeze now. We also see when we are living in the villages, we take the cows to the forest for grazing purposes. At the time, it is so pleasing environment. There is no bound, there is no words to express that happiness one is feeling. At the time, children they are playing in the, if there is any the in the mountain, there are stones or the rocky, slopy rocks where children used to take some palm leaves, palm tree leaves, and we sit on that dried palm leaves and sit on top of that, and on slopy rocks we just go we like that and enjoying that beautiful environment, and then we sometimes we make the sounds in the forest, these sound will come. And children, as children, we used to enjoy a lot. And in the forest, nearer to the forest, there are small, small fruits. They are very sour, and we used to take those and collect those things and eat it. We do not to pay any money to anyone else. It is all natural fruits. And the forest, there are so many things. And sometimes the birds are doing cuckoo birds, and we also resound them. It's so pleasing environment. Remembering those things, we don't get again those days back. Okay, so this is the environment here. With a gentle, all atmosphere is with a gentle breeze. And the sights and sounds of autumn were visible everywhere. The sights and the sounds of the autumn were visible everywhere. So Rama was reflective, like we are reflecting, trying to remember those things. So Rama was reflecting those things there. Now thinking about Sita Devi. So what needs to be done now? So again, where was Sugriva? Had he forgotten his promise? No, that his own problem had been solved. How could he so ungrateful? Rama's bro furrowed with anger, and he turned to Lakshman and saying, "So here it is not that he is angry towards Sugriva, but he is thinking of Sita Devi. That is the main thing." Okay, so the past 4 months have seemed like 100 years for me. I have longed for the end of the rains, O Lakshman, so that we might find Sita as we agreed with Sugriva. So when things are not happening, we need to see the rules and regulations, what needs to be agreed, what needs to be followed, and everything else. When things are not in right order, we need to refer the rules again, going back to when in the Raganuga Bhakti, we are doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord, and the Lord also expecting something. Something whenever it was elected to the within that process, uh, which may not be appearing right, then once again we'll come back to the Vidhi Bhakti. So what needs to be done? In a similar way, um, here Rama is remembering what is the agreement. We agreed with Sugriva. Although I have rendered him a great favor, the evil-minded monkey king obviously hold me in contempt, seeing me forlorn and deprived of my kingdom, living helplessly like an ascetic in the forest. The wicked fellow entirely disregards me. Okay, it is Rama's mood. It is not actually he wanted, but he is feeling the separation from Sita Devi. That makes him. And here, what it means to us. Rama is afflicted and saying, here, sometimes when we are in the temple, all our worshipping of deities in the temples, sometimes we neglect, we don't do the puja and everything else. And devotees, people may forget. Of course, devotees, they do not forget. People may forget. Though they have to do everything in right order. Sometimes we see neglected temples, no pujas happening, and then nothing, no prasadam is being distributed like that. So in such kind of things, one must be referring to the what they should do to revive that temples. Okay, it's just a fun thing. Okay, we shall move on to the further to the next page. Can I request Meena Mataji, please, to read the next page, please? Meena Mataji.
Yes.
Would you like to read this page, Mataji?
Yeah. Okay. Rama told Lakshmana to go to Kiskinda. He should tell Sugriva that there is no Vilar being then one who is ungrateful. Had he forgotten the favor Rama had gone for him and the promise he had made in return? Did he wish to again see Rama's golden bow drawn to its full length? Did he desire to see Rama angry on the battlefield? Did he long to hear again the crash of Rama bowstring sounding like so many claps of thunder? It was strange that Sugriva seems to have forgotten how Vali was slain by a single arrow from Rama, although Sugriva himself could never overcome his brother. Rama's eyes were crimson with anger as he spoke. It is clear that Sugriva is lost in sensual pleasures. Having regained his kingdom after a long time, drunk and surrounded by women, he has all but forgotten his pledge word to me. Tell him, O brother, that the path take, they, O brother, that the path taken by Vali still lies upon, along with all his kinsmen. Sugriva may proceed along that path if he does not care for his promise. He should take heed of this warning, otherwise he will meet again soon with Vali. Hare Krishna.
And to read this paragraph.
Okay. Lakshmana himself became furious as he listened to Rama. He told Rama that he would go immediately to Kiskindha with upraised weapon. He would dispatch Sugriva to that abode. Clearly, the licentious and unveterans Sugriva was not fit to rule a kingdom. Uh, Anganda should be installed as king and he could organize the search for Sita. Sugriva should be punished without delay.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So here Rama is saying to Lakshmana to go to the Kishkinda to warn Sugriva. But here Rama anger is not completely exhibited in front of Sugriva yet. So he is just only speaking to Lakshman here. It seems that Sugriva has forgotten and also reminding that still my arrow is Rama's arrow is still on the bow. So again it's mentioning it is again glorification of Rama's boasting sound like so many claps of thunder. So it was strange that Sugriva seemed to have forgotten how Vali was slain by a single arrow from Rama. Although Sugriva himself could never overcome his brother, Rama's eyes were crimson with anger as he spoke. All Rama is saying to Lakshmana here, sharing. Um, and it is clear that Sugriva is lost in sensual pleasures. Yes, he might have lost because he has gained the kingdom after a long time. And a drunk and surrounded by women, he has all but forgotten his pledged word to me. Tell me, O brother, tell him, O brother, that the path taken by Vali still lies open. Along with all his kinsmen, Sugriva may proceed along that path if he does not care for his promise. He should take heed of this warning, otherwise he will meet again soon with Vali. So this is the warning of Ramchandra. to Sugriva. So Lakshmana needs to convey that message. Okay, so here Lakshmana himself became furious because as he listened to Ramchandra. So Lakshmana is always follows Rama's order exactly as it is. He is also furious. If Rama is happy, Lakshmana is happy. If Rama is not happy, Lakshmana is not happy. If Rama is angry, Lakshmana is also angry. That is the mood. So he told Rama that he would go immediately to Kishkinda with upraised weapons. He would dispatch Sugriva to death's abode. Clearly, the Lakshman, he is bit advanced. He is a bit advanced. He does not want to bear Rama's that feelings. So he wanted to advance the task. So clearly, the licentious and unvirtuous Sugriva was not fit to rule a kingdom. Angada should be installed as a king, and he could organize the search for Sita. Sugriva should be punished without delay. Here, what it means, main thing is the promise. The promise. So whatever we give the word to opposite person, the promise, it must be kept kept all the time in all circumstances. That's why what is very difficult in one of the expressions, Yaksha asks Yudhishthira, what is the most difficult thing? It is the promise. Because once you give your word, but to keep that word up to that promise, it is very difficult. So when we say something, I will do it, I will do it, then we are giving promise to our spiritual masters, a Diksha Guru or Siksha Guru, whatever we speak, we must be living up to the truthfulness, saying that yes, I will do it, I will follow, but we don't follow. Giving your word is very, very important. This is a promise. Here, what is Rama's action and what is Lakshmana's action here? He says that with upraised weapons, he, uh, he would dispatch Sugriva to death's abode. Clearly, the licentious and unvirtuous Sugriva was not fit to rule a kingdom. Instead, Angada should be installed as a king. He will organize the search for Sita. So here, all this is even Rama was angry, Lakshmana was angry, Rama was in separation with Sita. All this is because the word promise. Promise is very, very important. Okay, so with that one, that is the mood of Lakshmana. I shall just go. I will read. Okay, I will read just one simple paragraph and then we shall cover the rest later on the next Sunday. So Lakshmana himself became furious. He listened to Rama and he told Rama that he would go immediately to Kishkinda with upraised weapons. He would dispatch Sugriva to death's abode. So that paragraph we have read. And then Lakshmana stood up and reached for his weapons. Rama, whose anger had already begun to subside, then checked his brother. His checked. So Rama has what happens when we are being angry and furious during that time. That angry mood will shift from one person to the other person. It will shift from one person to the other person. We must be very careful. All the time when we are, even the opposite person is speaking angrily, frustratingly, we must be very calm down. If he's we need to be more tolerant. We need to absorb all kinds of angers from different people, all kinds of frustrations from different kinds of people, but still keep steady, unagitated. So here, after Rama has showed his anger, Lakshmana has taken that anger now. It has come to Lakshmana. Of course, it is in the service of Ramchandra only. Rama is present, so nothing would go wrong. But here, what is happening? When the anger comes to Lakshmana stood up and reached for his weapons. And now, Rama's anger began to subside. It is now then checked. Then checked his brother, Lakshman. and saying that I think it not fitting that you kill Sugriva. Try at first to pursue a gentle path. Remind him of our friendship and his promise. For Lakshman, do not use harsh words immediately. After all, Sugriva is but a monkey. Perhaps you can awaken him to a sense of his duty by conciliatory speech. Conciliatory speech. That is how we should speak. But here, Rama and Lakshmana are discussing. They are not actually speaking to the actual person Sugriva that still the path is open to the where Vali has gone. So, but here Rama is saying that okay, so Sugriva, they're all monkeys. That is one thing. Plus, and also, is we need to be gentle to them. Pursue in a gentle path. Always try to first to pursue a gentle path. This is called Sama, Dana, Veda, Dandopaya. The four kinds of paths. Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Sama is like a gentle path. Second one is the Dana. By giving something, some kind of gifts, then try to bring the opposite person into our control or to fulfill our desires. That is Dana. Bheda. If they are not listening to that one also, Bheda. We need to bring the conflicts among themselves. Bring the conflicts among themselves and make themselves as enemies like that. In such a way, we'll bring later on, when they are disturbed everyone, we will bring them. This is divide and rule, conquer. This is the Western civilizations. They follow all these four principles. And then Dandopaya. Fourth one is Danda. The first one, what is happening? Sama is gently they're saying that to other people that don't do this thing. But those people, they do not care. Of course, here, every country is like independent. They consider themselves as independent. Of course, every living entity, they're related to the God. But, and whoever is representative of God, every living entity should treat them their instructions very nicely in a harmonious way. But here in this world there are no much representatives of the gods, representative of God. Everyone are thinking, I am a god, I am a powerful person, my country is great, but they are not representing the God. But everything are in the false. But they are acting in a false way. But still they are following the rules, but in a false way. So they say one country to another country that you don't do this one. We are very powerful country. We are everyone ordering all countries. Don't do this. But they do not listen. And then they will go to the second point. So if you follow these things, we will also provide this kind of facilities. They wanted to bring them to their alignment. But still, it is not their interest. They do not want to do that one also. They don't want to accept any charity from other people and act according to the other people's interest. Every country has got their own interest. They wanted to live in their sovereignty. They do not want to follow someone's sovereignty. So I have my house and someone is, my neighbor is there. If opposite person is coming, neighbor is coming, you live like that, you eat like that, no one would accept it. You live like that. And then if you are preparing some kind of food, then opposite person says that don't prepare this food. This is very contamination for us. He cannot say like that. It is our food. We are eating for our hungriness. But in this world is happening that this person is preparing a poisonous thing. It will harm us ourselves. So before he does that, we'll kill him. That is how the material world is going on. They wanted to put a wrong stamp on it and then kill them. It is so harsh. That is the one is the first Sama, second one is the Bheda, Sama, Dana, second one is Dana, charity, and third one is the Bheda. And then in the Bheda, what they will do, they will bring the conflicts among the people within the same family. The neighbor will come and say to the brother, to the brothers, they will speak, your father is not doing, your mother is not doing, show something in incorrect words, and bring the differentiations between the father and son, father and mother. So, in such a way, the bad things will enter into the home, the conflicts would arise. When those things would more, and then opposite person's purpose would be solved very easily. This is called divide and conquer. Likewise, it happens in the countryside as well. And then when there is no unity in the system, unity in the family, unity in the countries, opposite people will take that one as very easily, and they will come and conquer it, kill the people, and then fulfill their purpose. See, these are the four principles: Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. So here, Rama does not want to do all these things. Just he is asking Lakshmana to pursue a gentler path. Remind him of our friendship and his promise. Just only here the promise only. Rama is bound by the promise. From the beginning, he is bound by the promise. So Dasharatha was bound by the promise. The two benediction, two boons that were given to the Kaikeyi, it made him to stand unto that truth, promise. So he has sent Rama to the forest, and he was obligated to make Bharat as a king. And once Rama's obligation, his promise, he wanted to keep his father in the promise. So he came to the forest for 14 years. So that promise is very important, and also pursuing in a gentle path. Again, who is the opposite person? He is just a but monkey. Perhaps you can awaken him to a sense of his duty. This is sense of his duty by conciliatory speech. Okay, so conciliatory speech, it likes Sugriva, you are a friend and you have given this promise and it is your duty. You are now king and kindly do this one. If something is not going rightly, again, these are the further consequences of it. Likewise, Rama is mentioning to Lakshmana to go and relay this message. So beautiful messages are coming from Ramayana. Okay, that's where we stop for today. And I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything, any comments, any reflections, kindly do so. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for a nice explanation about the Ramayana and how we can learn from here that how if you have a friendship, if you give a promise, then you should keep your promise and then never break the promise. So yes, here that Sugriva, when he have that so much opulence and then when he is enjoying, so he forget his promise, what he gave it to Ram, and then the Lakshmana gets feel the pain also how the Rama is feeling. So Lakshmana is like so much in angry to said why that Sugriva is not sending the army or anything that Rama was telling Lakshmana. And then Lakshmana was he said he's now he's not going to do anything, but we have to do. Then he has to go to give a lesson to Sugriva and then said why forgetting your promise. So here that we take our points that Prabhu said, he said when you give your friends or any promise, maybe then you have to keep your promise. So that is the good point, Prabhu. And then you can so much learn from Ramayana how the Ram and Lakshmanas. And Ram is always like in pain too. He lost the now said he lost the Sita. And other thing is when the Chaturmasya that in Jainism they don't even travel like whoever that they what is it sadhu what they call it, but they stayed in one place and then after finish the Chaturmasya then they can go one place to another place. So thank you, Prabhu. Nice explanation and nice Ramayana.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a nice reflections, Mataji. Okay, any other comments or reflections? Ina Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, Mataji has explained, like said, like everything about the promise, like whatever we give promise, we have to like keep like we have to fulfill that promise. So one just small point is like even Rama was like not angry, but he was just talking to Lakshmana, but Lakshmana was straight away take the step, like killing like to Sugriva at that time. Again, Rama quality shows that he just stopped him, like we just have not as you explain everything, like so that is also one quality, like Lakshmana was straight away get angry about like to make the step further up the what he did at the time. Yeah, Rama has stopped him, and we just talk like do whatever we do with calmly and not just anger, and talk to them first and see what he said, and then we can take action, but yeah, not straight away. So that quality again, Rama quality, you can see.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So it is always one has to approach peacefully without much anger. When we approach peacefully, and then we go, this is the steps: Sama, Dana, Bheda, and Danda. So why here? Rama has already done the favor to Sugriva by killing Vali. He has already done some favor already. That Dana is already second level. Okay, the Sama is the first thing Sugriva also accepted. Now they are bound by the promise. They need to fulfill their promises. Very nice reflections. Thank you, Mataji. Garinge Mataji, you wanted to add anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji. Both of Mataji explained about this reading, who reading this one. So I cannot have anything, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. That is about Rama, Ramayana. So here, the summary of today's reading is like Rama is seeing the autumn season is arrived, rainy season passed, and everything is in, all birds and the elephants, they are in a very joyous mood. And Rama is thinking of Sita Devi only, and he wanted to start the search earlier, as soon as possible. But as Sugriva has not done any actions that Rama has seen, so now Rama is a bit angry towards Sugriva and sharing that reflections to Lakshman, asking Lakshman to go and remind him in a remind him of our friendship and his promise. And also thinking of Sugriva's position. After a long time, he has regained his kingdom, but he's a monkey. Okay, so just remind him about his duties in a conciliatory speech. Again, here Rama's mind is full of Sita's reflections only. So Sita Devi is thinking, he is always thinking of Sita Deva. Sita Devi, the first day when Sita Devi was kidnapped by Ravanasura, whatever the mood it was for Rama, still today also, after rainy season, after 4 months, still Rama is in the same mood, same pain. Okay, so that is from Ramayana.
Yeah, and also giving the promise, and like some other person, like other party, gets some hope that And but then if he's forget, then yeah, as Rama is now like very sad and like what will happen to Sita. Yeah,
Yes.
so that is also very important that when somebody give promise or something, got some inside hope that something will happen nicely, and but then once it's not happen, then yeah, again in reality as well.
Yes, Mataji. So, and this is what it means to us, the promise in the spiritual life in Krishna consciousness. We follow the rules like for chanting 16 downs and then follow four regulative principles. We give promise to our spiritual master. Our spiritual master does not ask many things from the disciples. He asks that what are the rules, and he says, the disciple says, I chant 16 downs and follow four regulative principles. Okay, and then spiritual master initiates with the name. That is only minimum expectations, not many things. That promise, he needs to keep it for the whole life. When we do not keep that promise, then what happens? Our God brother says that if we do not do our things, it would affect the spiritual master's life, that his body, his health conditions, because we made that promise in front of the fire sacrifice. Okay, so we have to follow our rules and regulations, and for well-being of our spiritual master, and also for our well-being. So Prajabhattu, um, Tat Prajabhattu Pindardham. So Prithu Maharaj says, Tat Prajabhattu Pindardham, for the sake of your king, and also Swadham Eva Anusuyavaha, and for yourself, for your benefit and for your king's benefit. In the similar way, for your spiritual master perspective and for your perspective, your personal perspective, you you just Kuruta Adokshadiha, Kuruta Adokshadiha by Krishna consciousness. Kuruta Adokshadiha. Um, so he mentions Tariheva me anugraha krutaha. So whenever the Lord is pleased, then he will be showing benedictions upon yourself and upon the king, like that. So but it is Kuruta Adokshadiha, Tarihime Anugraha Kurtaha, Tarihime Anugraha Kurtaha. Okay, likewise, those are the statements. The promise is simply stick unto the four principles. Four principles. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But material world, because of our past associations, they will still pull us into those relations and those things which may not be conducive to devotional service, which may not be conducive to fulfill our promises in our life. So here, when we have got human body, the baby in the womb, he promises to the Lord that Tasmadaham Vikta Viklava Buddharishya Atmanumasu Tamsaha Suhrudatmanaiva Bhuyo Yata Vesanam Yetad Anekarandram Mami Bhavashiti Upasadata Vishnu Padaha. Therefore, my dear Lord, Tasmadaham Vikta Viklava Buddharishya, I will relieve all kinds of my personal things. I will simply follow your instructions. He gives promise in the womb of his mother to the Supreme Lord. Atmanu masu tamasaha suhrudatmaneva. I will follow your instructions, my dear Lord, as soon as I get a body, human body, which is meant for self-realization. पश्यत्येम दिशनयाननु सप्तवद्रीः शारीरिके धम शरीरी अपरः स्वदेहे यस्तुष्टया सन्तमहं पुरुषं पुराणं पश्ये बहिर्हृदि च चैत्यमेव प्रतीतम्. By the only human body, I can conquer the senses and everything. All the attachment to this material world. This is snehad anyatra mohaja. It is just only association. It is a यद्ध्रुवस्य देहस्य सानुबन्धस्य दुर्मतिः ध्रुवानि मन्यते देहि ध्रुवानि मन्यते मोहात् गृहक्षेत्र वसूनि च. Everything is illusory things. But Of course, as family, we do not live. It is bound by the relations. Immediate family, though it is temporary, it is bound. We have got certain rules, certain duties towards the family. While executing, so dharmacharanam sekcha, vidharmatya nivattanam. Vidharma means associating with the people who are not Krishna consciousness. That is vidharma. Vidharmatya nivattanam. Daivalabdhen santosha. Be satisfied whatever is coming in our way. Daival. If I'm working, I'm working for my livelihood. If I do not work, it is very difficult. Then it is fine. Uh, if I do not work, it is difficult to survive. Then we have to work. If working is just an optional, then we don't have to. If working is just an optional, we do not have to work. We have got plenty of Krishna conscious activities. Focus on that one. We do not be agitated on that. I'm still, everyone are working. I also need to work. It is not that one. Taking every opportunity, reading the scriptures, chanting quality rounds, and attending Bhagavatam classes, going into the temple to perform some services there. Uh, Likewise, we mold our life, which are all Krishna, Kuruta Adokchadiyaha, Krishna consciousness, Adokchadiyaha. So that is a promise is a very simple thing. We have given that promises number of times. That's why Yudhishthira says keeping promise is very difficult. But in Krishna consciousness, we try as much as possible in the devotees association under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master. So we carry out those things as much as we can, not associate with Radhu Sangha, associate with the devotees, read scriptures, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, eat prasadam. Okay, in a beautiful way, we mold our life. Then path to the spiritual abode is clear. It is very easy. That is Anichito Megatim Anviyam Prem. Even though we do not desire, we seem straight away go to the spiritual abode of the Lord. Without desiring, we go there. Okay.
I have just small question.
Yes, Mataji.
So if there another Sanatan temple or anything where they have recitation like like 12 hours kirtan, like Ram Dhun or something like that. So is that okay to do? Go there and do?
So here, 12 hours of recitation and doing kirtans. Who is sitting in and around us? That matters.
They are also devotees, isn't it? They are just reciting Ram Nam or Krishna name. 12 hours.
Yes. So there are two modes. One mode is I wanted to go there and sing glories of Ramchandra and give my association to those people as well. That is one mode.
Mm-hmm.
And other mode, everyone are doing, let me go and sing with them. Sometimes those people may not be devotees, but still, only on the occasion they're coming and trying to sing. They do not follow rules and regulations, chanting in the behind in their homes. But on the occasions they will come and try to sing. Of course, it is not possible for unless they have got some kind of devotion. Uh, yes, that are two modes. So here, one mode is a devotee who is chanting. There, he goes and then sing with the deep devotion and give association to everyone else. That is one mode. Other mode is if other people are all the devotees, let me take association of them. But we need to be alert of if those people are not devotees, what it means. Here, Drapahya Alpatapasha Seva Vaikuntavatsmasu Yatropagite Nityam Devo Devo Janardanaha. Maitreya Muni says to Vidura that Drapahya Alpatapasaha, people who have not chanted, who have not performed austerities and penances, Alpatapasaha, Seva Vaikunthavatmasu. They do not get a chance to serve the Lord. Where Yatropagite Nityam, all the time the singing of chanting glories, those things are happening. Kirtans, like that. Yatropagite Nityam, Deva Deva Janardanaha. But somewhere whoever is coming there, they might have performed some austerities. But again, we need to be careful if some they are not the pure devotees who are not chanting and who are not following regulative principles. It's
Yeah,
different modes. How about with what mood we are going? That matters.
they may not follow like regulatory principle, but like where we have Gaudiya Math, and there was like some other month as well, isn't it? Like there is four. The first one is Vaishnava, or like in what you call. There is a we are in Gaudiya Math, but there was the other one is what do you call that? Who are in like who 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 worship like Krishna as Bal Gopal or Pushti Mark.
Pushti mark, yes.
Yeah, and there was like, and there was given another one is there was four months, isn't it? So they are also like not following what we do exactly, but they are also following some other rules and regulation as well.
So here, one point, whether it would increase my devotion, whether it will increase my quality of chanting rounds. Am I currently am I chanting very nicely 16 rounds and follow rules and regulations perfectly? And if I go there, would it increase my or it would hamper my chanting and rules and regulations? That is also we need to put that question to ourselves. Whether it would help us, it will hamper our chanting.
Mhm.
That one has to understand.
Okay, yeah, that is we have to understand. Yeah.
It is not that I need to go there. First of all, whether it would help my chanting and follow rules and regulations, or it will hamper because I need to go there again. I may try to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay, finish, and then I'll go there and then sit. So again, it's a different whether it would help or it would hamper. That one has to put that question to themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
And one last question that this Ram Navami day, like celebration, like so some like in Vrindavan also when I was in Ram Navami, after 12 o'clock they eat like as normal, like grain and everything. But as you were saying, that Prabhupada was saying that you have to eat evening is like and also like when Krishna's like 12 o'clock, after 12 o'clock we eat Ekadasi Prasad. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time also we eat Ekadasi. So why in like everywhere when Ram Navami they eat grain and break their fast?
Thank you, Mataji. So here it is kind of following austerity. Austerity we follow with the love and affection towards the Lord. We did for the pleasure of the Lord. So that is the main mood. And sometimes or we may not sustain without taking the grains. It may not be easy to prepare just Ekadasi Prasadam in all the days. But Ekadasi days, no food, that is no grains. Again, depends on the levels. Some devotees they don't take even the water, like the elevated devotees. But that is one level. But coming to this observation days, Narasimha Chaturdasi, Ram Navami, Gaurav Purnima, Krishnastami, these days uh, until sunset, generally until sunset. Sometimes the calendar says that until afternoon, but Prabhupada instructed in the letters, so many letters. So possibly those letters were shared for that purpose, stressing the Prabhupada's instructions that stay until it is a follow austerity only, but it is not a
It is
rule,
not
but
follow
following
anywhere, isn't it?
austerity.
That letter is not followed everywhere. They break 12 o'clock
Yes,
fast.
So
That
people
is,
follows the calendar given by the temple. Up to 12 o'clock, they want to follow the one standard rule. But some devotees who are
exactly.
absorbed devotees,
Mhm.
they want to take Prabhupada's mood absorption devotees. They follow Prabhupada's instructions as they are.
And also in Ekadasi, they don't like giving in temple, so they are serving the grain food as well, like in Ram Navami days.
Yeah, that is all right. So after evening sunset, taking the grain prasadam,
But
that should be
then
all.
why in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu they serve Ekadasi Prasad, even Jalmastami Ekadasi Prasad, but Ram
Uh,
Navami they just serve this.
that
And
one
in, so
generally,
yeah, I thought in Vrindavan, because of the Vrindavan is belong to like Krishna, like not belong to Krishna, but Krishna. That's the reason maybe they are giving. But here also, like they are serving.
yes. In fact, taking Ekadasi prasadam, we would be free from all kinds of thoughts as well. Of course, if it is Samtos Ekadasi prasadam, if you are able to take it, that is well and good. As part of the austerity, we offer it to the Lord and take Ekadasi prasadam. Okay. In terms of the nutrients and proteins, we make sure that it, like grains and everything, it contains carbohydrates like proteins stuff. We make sure that Ekadasi prasadam also may contain the same proportions. Then there is not much difficulty to contemplate on that. But sometimes devotees may not have options to prepare Ekadasi prasadam and to take that kind of opportunity. So they can take grains. There is no harm in that way.
No, they have people little bit of Ekadasi Prasad, like also who want to eat Ekadasi Prasad, but most of people going through the grain prasadam. Maybe I don't know why.
Ye- Yes, that should be all right. It is
Okay,
not it is not a rule, exact rule that you need to take only Ekadasi prasadam. But
okay,
apart from Ekadasi days, it is not a rule. It
okay.
is like our mode of absorption. Whether I wanted to also just do little bit more austerity. It is again consciousness.
Yeah, true.
It is not a rule, but it is like a most of austerity.
And Ekadasi is the main important
Yeah,
day.
Ekadasi is main important. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so the devotees, if you don't have any questions to discuss, then we can conclude and continue with the further japa. In the breaking time, breakfast time is 9:09 and 10:58. Okay, so still 20 more minutes are there. Okay, so we shall conclude. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
अनंत कोटि
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय
Prabhupada ki jai. Have a
हरि बोल to
conscious
प्रभु
day,
जी
everyone.
हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल
Thank you, Prabhu, so much.
Haribo.
Happy birthday to all day devotees. You're always kind and always associating very sincere soul. Thank you so much. All the mercy of Prabhupada and Vaishnavas and Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone's mercy. Just going our journey. We continue our journey. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna